All right, let's talk about what we did today and why it was so sexy. So, the only things I really traded were Nvidia and SPY. I also traded IWM, but it's really similar to SPY. And wish I would have caught Tesla. So let's talk through all of it. So Nvidia, and I said in the chat, right? Like Nvidia is a short, and if the day flips green, then your short is wrong and you need to long, right? And so Nvidia was a short because this week looks like this, right? Failed 2 up week, you want to trigger the week down and then just come all the way down here, right? That obviously did not happen. So we just flipped long. When did we flip long? Such a beautiful trade. I flipped on daily open and then I had to get back in. You can see it better on the 5. So here, right, we came down. It was a short. I didn't short it. I just wasn't sure, and then we flipped long. So I got into his long here. I took like a 4% gain, right? We come all the way back down here, and then we have this moment, and it was hard for me to do much of anything in this moment. I entered my next long here. If I'm not mistaken, I think I also shorted it when it flipped the day back red. So I'll walk through that too. I shorted it again here, yep, on this 325er because it was going to trigger the 15er. So if you look at the 15, this was a 3, 2, 15er. So I entered on the 5. It flipped the day back red. Short lived, but I can't remember how much I got. It wasn't very much, no more than like 12% or something. Anyway, this is my new return to longs. And then I just had to sort of grind my teeth. Ultimately, if you don't have that much in your portfolio, you do want to get out when you have a 5 against. This is a 5 against, right? The day is red, and I've triggered a 2-1, 2 down. So you want to get out there. I didn't because I didn't. That's not the best strategy. Definitely get out and just stick to winners. So that was my entry. This was my ad that I mentioned in the chat. Here. Boom. Just an absolute beauty. I think everyone saw this happening because it happened on SPY, it happened across the board, right? Like the market just sort of went bullish for a moment. And this is great. Absolute beauty. The goal is obviously to flip the day back green and then hit new high of day, which we did. And then we had all of this, which doesn't really matter. I'm in Wednesday expiry contracts. So I was happy to just hold Nvidia. I took a little bit of profit in this, but I added more and we just kind of kept sailing. It did something really beautiful. So I had this line here at 87.50, or sorry, 187.50. Didn't quite get there, but you know, it just doesn't matter to me. I'll swing this into tomorrow. So I'm in 187.5s and I'm in 190s for Nvidia. And we see this really nice gap up that's happening. Could be from this news about Japan, this trade deal for Japan. Could not be. I don't really know. But what I do know is that now I have a really nice instance of a failed 2 down, 2 up, back through. So yeah, really like what happened with Nvidia. Like even more what happened to SPY. If you draw your broadening formation on SPY, you can see this perfectly. Especially on the hour. So that's where we will draw it. I want to not get rid of my lines, but I also don't want it to be confusing. But this is your broadening formation, right? So we have that. And I guess you could argue that you didn't know that yet. So you have something like this, right? Because this was today's hour, so you wouldn't technically have had that information yet. So what happened on SPY? First of all, I don't usually trade gaps on the hour. I'm just seeing this now, but you do have this hourly gap. Gaps fill, right? That's what gaps do. So I know that, okay? Oh, I guess it filled last week. Okay, so cool. Focusing on what I saw and why I traded SPY. So we shorted SPY this morning, which was fun, from up here, right? This failed. This couldn't go all the way up. It failed. We got into a short. I can't tell you where exactly. Could have been here. I don't recall. But I know that we hit ADR. Or did we not? Oh, we hit the... Okay. Let me slow down. So, SPY was an inside day. Let's do one time frame at a time. SPY was an inside day when it opened, as most things would be. I wanted SPY to go up, right? Because we have this failed 2 down, but it is a doji, just unsure. So, you wait. I can see I made a new low. Totally cool on Friday. So, SPY opens here, and it's inside. It goes up, it goes down. It's kind of just hanging out. So, I've drawn my day down trigger, right? And then I have my monthly trigger. And then I have my target, which is actually easier to see on the week. So let's change this from daily target to weekly target. Here, okay? So SPY was a little bit conflicting today, right? Because you have a failed 2 down week, so that means I want to take the week down, right? And this is my first target on the week. This is my second target on the week, which is also a monthly target, okay? And I can show you that. See this? 2 up, 2 down, right? Trigger this, you have a 2 down. This is my monthly target, which is my second weekly target. That's why it says month. Okay. So, with that, and you have this conflicting day, right? This day, it is a doji, which is conflict, but it is a failed 2 up. So, I'm like, do I long it? Do I short it? I don't know. And so, because we don't know, and because it was inside day, everything that we took was with trepidation and knowing that we wouldn't stay in there long, right? So, shorted SPY, because it was closer to triggering the day down than triggering the day up, right? So, entries here. What I need is for it to get below the daily open and stay below the daily open on my short. It does that. Great. Because the first thing that the second thing that I need is for it to trigger the day down, which is this green line, right? So stay down here. So it triggers that day down, and I'm like, great, we are sailing. So we come. But the thing is, monthly trigger seemed to be an issue for SPY, right? And when you're playing 0 days, like you really need to be taking profit at targets and levels, right? So we hit the bottom of this broadening formation. We also hit the monthly trigger, and we start a new candle, right? We start new 5s, 15s, and 30s here. Not hours. So when I start on the flip is so important. The continuity of the flip is so important, and I can make a video about that later. But when this happens, you have to get out, right? I've wicked the monthly trigger. I'm back above my broadening formation. I need to get out of this trade. So you exit there, and then you just sort of hang out. I think I may have shorted again. I can't remember. But I got in and out of SPY quite a few times. This is a fine short, right? Because you still want to hit this target, right? This weekly target. Once I hit the weekly target, now we are talking about the reason why it's so important to take profit at targets, because we reverse at targets, right? And you can see if I zoom out, we reverse the hell out of this target, right? We hit weekly target, which is also ADR, and we come all the way back through with no reason to exit for what? 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 45 minutes. And even so, you could probably count this as no reason to exit if you weren't trading 0 days. So this was the trade of the day, right? This long here, which we took, and it was great and it was fine. So I want to show you on the hour. Was it the hour? What this looks like. So let me get rid of a few of these to make it a little easier. I can see here now, right, because this first hour I put in, so there's my broadening formation. I can see here that I have wicked this week, come back up and through. I hit my targets, right? So this is an absolute beauty. This outside hour was an absolute beauty. I think I did like 400%. And yeah, I loved the trading day today. You also had other entries. On SPY, you have this 3-2-15er, which takes you back up to ADR. If you want to trade something smaller, you have this beautiful situation here on the 5. You come back to daily open, right? You have an inside fiver, and then it just goes all the way up for you. Another, I don't know, 40 minutes of no reason to get out. You hit ADR, and that's your place to sort of start to protect yourself. But yeah, it was just a beautiful day. IWM also quite pretty and quite similar, right? We have the same sort of situation. We hit ADR, we go up, back and forth, right? But yeah, I didn't trade Tesla because I was just so distracted. But ultimately, days like these types of trend days, things start to look the same, right? Everything's sort of giving me this down that comes back up and then back up, right? So they all are doing that for us. All right, NVIDIA down, it comes back up. It kind of stalls. It doesn't really go back down. It just keeps shooting up. So anyway, that's what we traded today. Super pleased and happy with it. Tomorrow, what are we looking at for the week? Let's do that. So NVIDIA. I want outside week on NVIDIA. Right? Okay, we failed. Right? We failed the week. We triggered it. We failed. No big deal. Let's just go the other way. Right? And that's what I was saying in the chat. Like, I want outside day and outside week on NVIDIA and SPY. We didn't do outside day. Oh. Like, I wanted this to go outside. But it doesn't matter. That's even better for me tomorrow, because if I failed two, I can go all the way back through. So I have 1, 2, 3 targets on my daily reversal, I guess you could call it. But yeah, looking at the week and the day, I have nothing but confidence of NVIDIA going back, going outside week, right? The only thing that would negate that is if NVIDIA flips the week back red. I do want to watch previous week open, but not too concerned. SPY is similar. Goodness. Alright, this video has gotten longer than I like them to be. SPY is similar though, right? You see this week looking like this. I can get rid of all this. So you see the week looking like it does. Right? Fail 2 down. Let's go back up. Outside week. That's what we're looking for. The day, fail 2 down. Literally no reason to be shorting this unless we flip back red, right? Our continuity is green as hell. Our actionable signals here. What does the 4 hour look like? All right, so ideally I'll actually have the 4 hour come down and then back through, or they buy the shooter, who knows? But that's really what I'm focused on. Ooh, Tesla looks fun for tomorrow, so I'll be focused on Tesla. Yep, I'll be focused on Tesla going outside week, NVIDIA going outside week, and SPY going outside week. From now on, when I talk about SPY, I have the same feelings for IWM. I actually think this just moves better, but I'm just more familiar with SPY. So that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking at. That's what we did today. Super into it. All right.